Okay, in the meantime, let's see what a more traditional sports car from Europe looks like. When German sports car superstar Porsche became part of the giant Volkswagen empire, it began to lose faith with many of its die-hard fans. All of a sudden, Porsche's engines didn't have to be air-cooled or even rear-mounted. First came the mid-engine 914, more like a VW Beetle than a Porsche. Then in 1976, we got a front-engine car, the 924. The engine on that one wasn't even by Porsche. It was an Audi 2-liter. The Megabuck 928 was more successful, so the 924 was sort of allowed to languish with not enough power and mediocre handling. That is, until now. The Porsche 924 was designed to be an Audi sports car. When Audi dropped out of the project, it became a Porsche. That's so all that money and effort wouldn't go to waste. Well, for 1983, Porsche presents this successor to the 924, the 944. If you're into Porsches, your first impression is that it still looks like its forebear, and in fact it does, almost. But once you've driven it, you'll begin to understand why this car might finally be called a pure Porsche.
Mash that accelerator and you quickly feel the change. From barely adequate acceleration to a quick rush. A new 2.5-liter all-Porsche four-cylinder, coupled to one of the finest rear-mounted 5-speed transaxles available, provides a rare combination of handling balance and willing power. A time of 4.5 seconds in our 40 to 55 mile-per-hour passing test in third gear straddles the line between a rating of quick and very quick. Full range power, much better than most four-cylinders, does translate into moderate wheel spinning that hampered most of our standing start trials. Nevertheless, a fast time of 8 seconds flat with a highly acceptable speed of 57 were recorded over our 500-foot on-ramp course. Tire chirping also kept speeds down slightly over the quarter mile. However, a time of 16.3 seconds at 85 miles per hour is performance that can be matched by only a handful of affordable production cars today. Besides tuned exhaust headers, 143 horsepower, and 137 pounds of torque, the most interesting things about the 944's fuel-injected power plant are its heritage. It's actually a slant 4 derived from cutting the Super Coupe 928's V8 in half. Then Porsche engineers swallowed their pride and bought silent shaft technology from Japan's Mitsubishi. The result is the most vibration-free, high-performance four-banger anywhere. However, improvements in the handling of the 944 are less obvious and owe much to the wide, sticky Pirelli P6 tires. Through our low-speed slalom course, we found classic understeer, with the front end diving gently into the pavement during switchbacks. The non-power steering, so sensitive in the straight-on position, deadens rapidly when turned. On the other hand, quick release of the throttle would produce controllable rear swing-out, despite the car's near-perfect 50-50 weight distribution. Fast transits of 66 miles per hour were managed through the high-speed emergency lane-changing course. Smooth predictability confirms the Porsche legend of cars that one loves to learn to drive. If handling is still something of a compromise, braking is not. Stops from 30 were extremely short with an average of 30 feet. The four-wheel power disc system neither pulls nor locks. From 55, above average control continued. Panic stops averaged 116 feet, with the shortest at 109 and the longest 126. As components grew hotter, there was some minor locking of the rear wheels, as well as a modest attempt at back-end swing-around. Styling of the 944 is a mixture of the old and new. Fenders now bulge out to cover the wider tires, while the headlamps still disappear when not needed. The result is a very menacing-looking car with a deep front air dam and a functioning rubber rear hatch spoiler. Considerable attention has also been given to upgrading the interior of the 944. Better quality fabrics, given to a less stark appearance, are combined with comfortably hard seats. The only major complaint is the lack of knee room under the non-adjustable steering column. The dash remains straightforward and nearly complete, with large gauges clearly visible. Only a voltmeter, displaced by the factory air conditioning control, is noticeably absent. A very good but overpriced Blaupunkt electronic radio is one of only a few options available. Unchanged, however, is the ludicrous excuse for a back seat. Although it looks comfortable, both headroom and knee room are only suitable for very young or four-legged sports car enthusiasts. So for most owners, that rear package shelf will probably remain folded flat, so the large, if shallow, trunk area can swallow even more cargo. A permanently mounted luggage cover is also included, as is a small electric air compressor that, when plugged into the cigarette lighter, inflates the collapsible spare tire. One more standard item is a very large, heavy sunroof that, although cumbersome to remove, can be stored neatly under the rear hatch. A sound level reading of 73 decibels is average for an average car, but it's good for any sports car. However, there is still too much chassis noise. The EPA rates the manual 944 at 23 miles per gallon in the city and 36 on the highway. We recorded a highly respectable 25 during our rougher-than-normal driving. A 3-speed automatic is also available with a slight fuel and fun penalty attached.
Okay, so how much? Well, the 924 costs 17 grand to start. Does the 944 follow the Detroit-Tokyo rule and cost 20% more? No. The 944 base price is about $18,500 with everything you need standard except a radio. And in today's inflated market, that is competitive. So it seems that after 7 years, Porsche has finally gotten serious about its lowest price speedster. The 944 not only takes up where the 924 left off, but puts Porsche in front of the front-engine sports car field.